The Galactic Council Hall was the largest structure ever built among the stars. It floated in deep space, surrounded by glowing nebulae and distant suns. Inside the hall, leaders from hundreds of alien worlds gathered. Some were tall and thin, others wide and heavy, some glowing, some covered in metal. They all shared one thing: pride. This council had not met for celebration. It had gathered to judge. At the center of the hall, a massive hologram flickered to life. Ancient star maps rotated slowly, showing the known galaxy. One by one, advanced fleets appeared on the display. Ships made of living crystal. Ships bending space itself. Ships powered by stars. The aliens nodded in approval. This was power. This was progress. Then the image changed. A small blue planet appeared. Earth. The council murmured. Some laughed softly. Others did not even bother to look. The hologram zoomed in and showed an old design. A human fleet prototype. Thick armor. Straight lines. Heavy engines. No glowing crystals. No living metal. Just steel and fire. Silence filled the hall for a moment. Then laughter erupted. Several alien leaders mocked openly. One said the design looked like floating rocks. Another joked that the ships belonged in a museum. A third asked if humans still used explosions instead of real weapons. The council record showed that this prototype was centuries old. It was humanity's early attempt to join the stars. At the time, humans had proudly presented it to the galaxy, asking for respect and partnership. They were refused. The galaxy had laughed at Earth. The council remembered those days clearly. Humans were called slow. Too emotional. Too violent. Too primitive. They had no advanced shields, no elegant technology, no galactic influence. After that day, Earth withdrew. Humans stopped attending council meetings. They stopped sharing research. They stopped asking for approval. The galaxy barely noticed. Back in the present, the council chairman waved a clawed hand. "Why are we even showing this?" he asked. "This design is weak. Humanity was never important." Many agreed. But one figure remained silent. An old alien historian stood at the edge of the hall. His species had watched stars rise and fall. He studied the human prototype carefully. He noticed something strange. The ships were simple, yes. But they were solid. Every part had a purpose. No beauty. No waste. Still, before he could speak, the laughter grew louder. Then, without warning, the lights in the hall dimmed. The hologram flickered again, this time showing something new. A distant region of space went dark. Entire star systems vanished from the map. The laughter slowly died. A warning signal echoed through the council chamber. Reports flooded in from the outer colonies. Communication lost. Fleets destroyed. Planets burned. Something was coming. Something ancient. Something powerful. The advanced fleets that once filled the hall now looked small on the display. One by one, they disappeared, erased like dust. Fear spread across the council. The chairman demanded answers. Scientists spoke of unknown weapons. Generals spoke of impossible enemies. No one had a solution. The historian looked again at the human prototype. For the first time, he spoke. Humans were laughed at, he said calmly. But they never stopped preparing. The council ignored him. Outside the hall, far beyond known space, something moved toward the galaxy. And on a small blue planet called Earth, long-forgotten systems began to wake up. The galaxy had laughed at Earth. It would not be laughing for long. The first attack was not seen, it was felt. Across the outer edge of the galaxy, a peaceful mining system went silent, ships stopped responding, satellites went dark, and the stars themselves seemed to dim. At first, the Galactic Council thought it was a system failure. These things happened in deep space. but then another system vanished, and then another. Panic slowly spread. Advanced alien fleets were sent to investigate. These fleets were powerful, fast, and proud. Their commanders believed this threat would be erased in hours. They were wrong. When the fleets arrived, they found ruins, planets cracked open, space stations torn apart, no signs of battle, no enemy signals. Then space itself began to move. Dark shapes emerged from nothingness, massive structures without clear form. They did not glow, they did not speak, they simply advanced. The alien fleets opened fire. Energy beams, gravity weapons, star-cutting cannons, everything hit the enemy. Nothing worked. The attacks were absorbed, bent, or ignored. One by one, the alien ships were pulled apart, crushed, or erased. Crews never had time to scream. Within minutes, the proud fleets were gone. Back at the Galactic Council Hall, emergency alarms echoed endlessly. Reports arrived faster than they could be read. Colony worlds were falling, trade routes were collapsing, entire civilizations were running out of time. Fear replaced pride. The same leaders who once laughed now argued in desperation. Some demanded bigger weapons, others demanded retreats. No one had a real plan. The enemy did not slow down. It moved steadily toward the core of the galaxy, toward the most powerful worlds, toward the Council itself. Scientists studied the data. They could not understand the enemy's technology. It did not follow known laws of physics. It was old, far older than any known species. An ancient force had returned. The Council chairman slammed his claws against the table. "We are the greatest civilizations in the galaxy," he shouted. "We cannot fall like this." But even he sounded unsure. Another report arrived. A legendary crystal fleet had been destroyed. A living metal armada had vanished. The galaxy's strongest defenses had failed. Silence filled the hall. Then the historian stepped forward again. He spoke slowly, carefully. "There is one species that always planned for the worst," he said. "One species that built not for beauty, but for survival." Some leaders already knew where this was going. Others refused to accept it. "Humans are weak," one shouted. "They were laughed out of this council." "Yes," the historian replied, "and while you laughed, they learned." He activated the ancient council records. They showed Earth's withdrawal, human research going dark, no shared data, no alliances, just silence. But silence does not mean weakness, the historian continued. It means preparation. The council hesitated. Pride fought with fear. Another system fell. This time, it was close, very close. The chairman's voice lowered. "Do humans still exist?" he asked. "Yes," the historian answered, "and they are listening." After a long pause, the council made a choice it never thought it would make. They sent a signal to Earth. Not a command, not a demand. A request for help. As the message traveled through space, many believed it was already too late. Far away, on the blue planet once mocked by the stars, a quiet alert sounded. Old screens lit up. Dormant systems came online. And humanity received the call that would change the galaxy forever. The signal from the Galactic Council crossed the stars in silence. It carried no pride, no authority, only fear. When it finally reached Earth, it did not cause panic. No alarms echoed through cities. No leaders rushed to cameras. Instead, the message was routed deep underground. Below mountains. Below oceans. Into places the galaxy never knew existed. In a secure chamber, human officials gathered. They did not look surprised. They did not ask why. They had always known this day would come. The message played again. Alien voices shaken, broken, desperate. Asking for help from the species they once mocked. A quiet pause followed. Then a single command was given. Activate legacy systems. Across Earth, hidden facilities awakened. Lights turned on in bases abandoned centuries ago. Doors sealed by time began to open. Old machines stirred back to life. Deep in Earth's archives, ancient files unlocked. The same prototype designs once laughed at by the galaxy appeared again. But now they were different. Stronger. Larger. Evolved. Human engineers moved with calm focus. They had trained for this moment for generations. Every system had been tested, improved, and rebuilt in secret. While the galaxy chased beauty and power, humanity chased survival. An officer studied the alien data carefully. The ancient enemy. The impossible technology. He nodded slowly. "This is why we built them," he said quietly. Far from Earth's surface, massive hangar doors opened in orbit. Structures larger than cities emerged from the darkness. Ships hidden behind stealth fields revealed their true size. They were not elegant. They were not beautiful. They were terrifying. Thick armor covered their hulls. Engines burned with controlled fury. Weapons lined their sides, not for show, but for war. Each ship carried a name from Earth's legends. Names of gods, heroes, and forgotten protectors. Humanity had not forgotten its past. It had forged it into steel. The fleet did not launch immediately. First came silence. The Galactic Council waited. Minutes felt like hours. Some believed Earth would refuse. Others believed humans were already gone. Fear returned. Then the signal changed. A short response arrived. Only 3 words. "We are coming." Shock spread through the council chamber. Some leaders felt relief. Others felt something else. Shame. The historian closed his eyes. He had hoped this day would never come. But he knew what it meant. When humans moved, the galaxy changed. Back on Earth, the final phase began. Crew members boarded ships in perfect order. No cheers. No speeches. Only purpose. The fleet aligned in orbit. Hundreds of massive vessels. Silent, waiting. A human commander looked at the stars ahead. At the galaxy that once laughed. "Set course," he ordered calmly. Engines ignited. Space bent. And the legendary fleet vanished into the void. Far away, the ancient enemy continued its advance. Unaware that something older than fear, and stronger than pride, was now on its way. Humanity had answered the call. And the galaxy would soon understand what that truly meant. The first sign of humanity's arrival was not light. It was silence. Alien sensors detected massive space distortion. Warnings spread across fleets already damaged and retreating. Some commanders believed it was another enemy wave. Then space tore open. Hundreds of human warships emerged from hyperspace. They arrived in perfect formation. Calm, controlled, unstoppable. Alien observers froze. They had never seen ships like these. The human fleet did not rush forward. It held position, studying the battlefield. Before them floated the remains of once proud alien armadas. Broken crystal ships. Twisted living metal. Burning debris drifting endlessly. And beyond that, the enemy waited. Dark structures moved slowly through space. Silent and massive. As if confident nothing could stop them. The human commander gave a single order. Begin Phase 1. Human ships activated layered shields. Not bright. Not beautiful. But strong. Enemy weapons fired. Reality bent. Space screamed. The attack struck human defenses. And stopped. Alien fleets watched in disbelief as the human shields held. Not bending. Not failing. Then humanity answered. Human weapons fired in controlled bursts. Kinetic rounds. Focused energy beams. Weapons designed to break what could not be reasoned with. The first enemy structure cracked. Not exploded. Cracked. The ancient force reacted for the first time. Dark shapes shifted. New weapons formed. Power surged. The battle became chaos. Human ships moved like a single mind. rotating positions, covering each other, advancing slowly but without fear. When one ship took damage, another replaced it instantly. There was no panic. Alien commanders realized something terrifying. Humans had planned for losses, for failure, for the worst possible outcome. This war had been studied for centuries. The enemy launched its strongest attack, a wave that erased stars behind it. Several human ships vanished. The alien observers cried out, believing it was over. But the human fleet did not retreat. The formation tightened. The commander spoke again, calm and steady. Phase 2. Massive ships at the center of the fleet moved forward, larger than anything the galaxy had ever built. These were not just warships. They were fortresses. Their weapons charged slowly, drawing power from reactors built deep within their cores. The enemy tried to escape. For the first time, it turned away. But humanity did not stop. The fortress ships fired. Space shattered. The enemy structures were torn apart, layer by layer, piece by piece. The ancient force screamed across all frequencies, a sound of rage and fear. Alien fleets felt it in their minds. When the battle ended, silence returned. The enemy remnants drifted lifelessly. The unstoppable force had been stopped. The alien survivors stared at the human fleet. No cheers. No celebration. Only quiet movement as humans secured the area. The historian watched from the council feed, his voice trembling. These ships, he whispered, they are not just weapons. They are legends. Human ships began moving toward the final enemy position, the core from which it had come. The commander looked ahead. This is not over, he said. Far beyond the battlefield, something ancient still stirred. Something deeper. Something waiting. Humanity had won the battle. But the war for the galaxy's future was not finished yet. The battlefield was quiet. Too quiet. Broken enemy structures drifted through space. Once feared across the galaxy, now silent and empty. Human ships moved carefully forward, scanning, analyzing, preparing. The ancient enemy had not fully vanished. Deep space trembled ahead. At the center of the dark region, a massive core pulsed slowly. Still alive. Alien fleets pulled back in fear. Their ships damaged. Their crews exhausted. They watched as humanity advanced alone. The human commander studied the readings. His voice remained calm. This is the source, he said. If it survives, the enemy will return. The core reacted. Energy surged. Space twisted violently. It was a final defense. A weapon powerful enough to destroy everything nearby. Alien leaders screamed warnings, telling humans to retreat. Humanity did not move back. Instead, a single ship broke formation. One of the oldest in the fleet. Scarred from battle. Its name written in Earth's ancient tongue. The commander understood immediately. He gave a slow nod. All ships hold position, he ordered. The lone ship moved forward, toward the growing storm of energy. Inside, the crew worked in silence. They knew the mission. They knew the cost. No fear showed on their faces. The enemy core released its power. A wave meant to erase stars. The human ship accelerated, pushing engines beyond limits. Armor glowing red. Systems failing one by one. Alien observers watched in horror. The ship reached the core and activated its final protocol. A controlled collapse. A weapon humanity never shared with the galaxy. The explosion did not destroy space. It sealed it. The enemy core was trapped. Compressed. Locked outside reality. Then silence returned. The human ship was gone. For a long moment. No one spoke. Then a signal came through. Human fleet status green. Enemy threat eliminated. The war was over. Across the galaxy, systems stabilized. Stars burned bright again. Worlds that expected death found peace. At the Galactic Council Hall, the leaders stood in silence. The same hall where laughter once filled the air. The historian stepped forward. His voice heavy with emotion. "We mocked them," he said. "We called them weak. And when the galaxy burned, they stood alone." The council bowed. Not in command, but in respect. For the first time in galactic history, humanity was not asked to join. They were honored. On Earth, there were no parades. No celebrations. Only quiet remembrance. A monument was built. Not of gold, but of stone and steel. It carried no long speech. Only simple words. They stood when others fell. Across the stars, humanity earned a new name. Guardians of the Galaxy. No longer laughed at. No longer doubted. From that day forward, when danger rose among the stars, the galaxy looked toward Earth. Because legends were not born in pride. They were forged in silence, in sacrifice, and in steel. Humanity had answered the call, and the stars would remember forever.